Yo, what's going on, everybody? Wow, that was sorry about that. Oh my good God, that was insane. Sorry, I have like this new software that I'm working with, and it did not pick up my cameras. So I'm hoping that's working now, guys. I'm hoping everything looks all right. Yeah. Anyway, wow, I lost viewers. That's great. How's everyone doing today? My God, that was embarrassing. Um, I'm just making sure everything is working right now. If there's anybody that can, Jesus Christ, this is embarrassing. Huh. So, just waiting for some people to get in here because I restarted my stupid ass stream. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Apologize for that. Hold on, I'm just now, I have to delete that old live because I totally fucked up. Just give me one second. Hey, yeah. Anyway, let's go. Yo, how's everyone going? Sorry about that, guys. I'm working with some new software here, and I kind of messed that up. I didn't have my camera set up for that. Anyway, how's everyone going? Really hot down here in London today. I am absolutely sweating buckets. Yes, we need to buy players. Yes, we are going to get into that just as soon as, I'm just going to talk a bit about Greenwood here in a second, but then we're going to get into some players that could be coming in and players potentially still going out. Because remember, if we want to buy players, everyone, we've got to sell players. But I think we've got money at the moment to make at least one signing. But everyone, comment down below. Let's have a chat. So I just wanted to start this off with Mason Greenwood because a huge statement came out earlier this afternoon today about Mason Greenwood leaving Manchester United. And I didn't really delve too much into the video. I just kind of read the statements from Richard Arnold, Mason Greenwood, and the club statement from Mason Greenwood. But I was still trying to process what everything was said. So I didn't really take the time in that video to really give my thoughts. So I'm just going to give a quick thought on my Mason Greenwood, on the Mason Greenwood situation. So here's what I think. I think the club has handled this terribly. I've never seen a club handle this so bad. The statement was a bit contradicting itself. It said that they didn't really find Mason Greenwood to be at fault for anything. They didn't find any evidence to suggest that he did anything, but they're releasing him, effectively terminating his contract, you could say. So if he didn't do anything wrong, I don't know why we are releasing him. I mean, I'm not against releasing him. I think it's going to be best for the club, in my opinion, and best for him to move on and just get on with his life. People keep saying that, we should give him a second chance. We should give him a second chance. Look, Mason Greenwood did admit to doing something. The thing is, no one is going to know what happened. We're never going to know. And I think it's kind of a shame that we don't know a bit more about this whole situation. It's been so out in the public. Just want a little bit more information on the pictures and the audio, but Mason Greenwood did take the time to acknowledge that he did make some bad choices and he needs to learn off of that. So I think it is best for him to step away and go work on himself. Now, people are saying that we need to give him a second chance. Look, him being allowed to potentially continue his career and make millions of dollars, pounds, or whatever he's going to be making is a second chance. Look, something went down. No one is going to know what happened, behind the scenes. The only people that really know what happened, I think, are the police. I don't even think Manchester United have all the information. But from what Manchester United gathered, Mason Greenwood, to them, did nothing wrong. But this has been a PR nightmare for Manchester United. We all know last week there was a leaked announcement that they were preparing to bring Mason Greenwood back, and then they kind of did this whole announcement last week. They weren't ready with the decision, which I think that was more of a testing the waters thing. And the backlash was immense. It was immense from that. And I know there's a whole load of people that go, he was innocent. He first of all, guys, Mason Greenwood was never innocent. The charges were dropped. It doesn't mean he's innocent, doesn't mean he's guilty. It just the charges were dropped. This happens all the time in sports and a lot in American sports, guys. This happens so much in American sports. But just because the charges were dropped doesn't mean anybody's innocent or anybody's guilty. So we got to move on from that. But what's going on with that announcement, with the decision between the club and Mason Greenwood is a very positive thing for both. Look, we're going to get a lot of stick from all this of how we handle it because it's been handled extremely poorly. And comment down below, guys, if you think this has been handled poorly, let me know down below because I've never seen anything handled so badly. Anyway, it's also going to be good for Mason Greenwood because there's been a lot of people that they see the club kind of, performing badly and they go, "Oh, we need Greenwood. We need Greenwood." Look, Greenwood hasn't played for almost 2 years, guys. There's no way he could come back into this club and keep playing the way he used to. And not to mention, the biggest thing here is his mental well-being. You honestly think after 2 years away, what has gone on in the public, because this has been a very, very public matter, that he's just going to be able to waltz onto the field and everything is going to be okay? The abuse, the hatred, everything coming towards him is going to be insane. And I don't know how anyone of that age, actually, I don't think it matters what age you are, can honestly handle that. So as poorly as this has been handled by Manchester United, I think they've come to the right outcome of just parting ways. It's going to be interesting to see where Mason Greenwood ends up, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out with Manchester United. If you're asking me, the way this has been handled by the club, I believe Richard Arnold needs to go. It's been an absolute mess, and this is not just the Mason Greenwood thing that's been a mess. This whole all the transfer saga, just loads of drama happening. He just doesn't seem to be able to put a lid and contain things in the club. And in my opinion, Richard Arnold should either be fired or just resign from his position. Let me know what you think about that down below, everyone. That's just my quick thoughts on Mason Greenwood. I don't want to spend too much time talking about him because we've spent loads of time talking about Mason Greenwood. Everyone is so divided, and I don't want to be divided here. I want everyone to come to this place and be able to talk freely as they want with no abuse. This is a very accepting place to be, guys. So put your comments down below. We love to chat. And just remember, just keep it peaceful. Anyway, let's keep moving, guys. Oh, okay. I cannot respond to the chat. This is great, guys. Going very well today. Let me just see real quick. We're going to talk about Marco Verratti here. Whoa, close. There we go. I got the chat open. I've got my chat open now. All right, we're good. Anyway, sorry, I'm just pulling that window back up. Let's talk this midfield madness, the thing that's on the thumbnails, guys, because we need midfielders, don't we? It's been a rough time. We've watched the last 2 games, guys. Though the first half of the Spurs game was actually not too bad, but you can see the mentality of when things don't go our way just really plummet. And that game against Wolves really exposed our midfield. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I think we need midfielders, but I think there's also the same thing that's what's happening last year. Erik ten Hag wanted Christian Eriksen to play a certain role. Sorry. Had McDonald's earlier, and does not agree with me. Christian Eriksen was asked to play a new role he never played in his life. Christian Eriksen is a very exceptional footballer, and it didn't take him too long to adjust. But in those first couple games, it did take him a while. Remember Brentford, he got overran, and Brighton, he got overran. It's kind of the same thing happening here with Mason Mount. Mason Mount is going to take some time to adjust to his new position. He doesn't understand quite yet where he needs to be positionally. He's breaking too far forward, leaving Casemiro on his end and making our midfield way too open. We're letting goals go in like crazy. Maybe not goals, but they're getting attempts on goals like crazy, and it's making everybody just look bad. There's no cohesion in it, and I think that's where everything kind of breaks down. So there's been a lot of talk now about panic buys for midfield. I'm going to say these are panic buys, even though we've been looking at a couple of these guys for a very long time. There's some new names coming in, which kind of big names as well, which make me think these are becoming panic buys. So anyway, the comment below about buying new players, let's start talking about buying new players because we need it. Anyway, Marco Verratti. So apparently, let me see if I can get this in here actually, guys. New software, but I think I can do some sick stuff with it. Marco Verratti is wanted by by Erik ten Hag. No, does that work? Can you guys see that? Boo, 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 boo. I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyway, that's coming from BBC. Marcos Verratti wanted by Manchester United in a potential £50 million deal. Now, I don't know about you guys. Marco Verratti has been one of my favorite midfielders for the longest time. I absolutely adore this player. Do I think he's going to be the right fit for Manchester United? Unfortunately, I don't. I think the thing is, he's 29 now. I don't want a midfielder that's 29, no offense. If I want a midfielder that's coming in that can be here for a few years. We got Nemanja Matic around 29, and we didn't get much time out of him. And not to mention, I don't think he's suited, to be honest, to play the style that we want. He's getting a bit older. He's never really played that high intensity. He had to do a lot of work at PSG to cover for the three front players that never defended, but it was never an intense pressing style. He's very gifted, though. His passing is insane, and he can hold the ball very well. I just don't think he's going to have the energy, the stamina, and to be honest, the willpower to play for Manchester United in the style that we're looking for. Would I love him at the club? Oh, absolutely. Like I said, he has been one of my favorite midfielders for maybe the last decade. I absolutely love Verratti, but I unfortunately think it's about 5 to 7 years too late on grabbing him. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think Marco Verratti is going to be the guy we need to seal up our midfield? I'd take him. I just don't know if he fits in. But only one person honestly knows that, and that's Erik ten Hag. So yeah, let me know about Marcos Verratti. Remember, that's coming out of BBC, so it could be quite a reliable source. And also there's 3 things here mentioned in the BBC. We'll talk about another midfielder and where this leaves Sofian Amrabat. Apparently, we have now been given the go-ahead on Ryan Gravenberch. It looks like we could potentially going in for a loan option. I think we're going to go in for a loan on Gravenberch. I think that's the only option that Bayern are looking for, and honestly, that suits us very well. It doesn't require us to pay a big fee and maybe not even cover his entire wages. So apparently, we have now got the go-ahead to go and get Gravenberch. Do I think this is going to be a good deal? I do think this will be a solid addition to the midfield. He's young. He's played with Erik ten Hag before. He's played at Ajax. That's the only iffy thing I have about this, is that he has played for Ajax, and I'm kind of getting over the whole I've played for Ajax, I've played for Erik ten Hag thing. But like I said, if he wants him, he can get him. He's young, can hold the ball, plays that 8 position very, very well. It's not that I don't think it's just that he's a Bayern reject. He definitely isn't, guys. I hate saying Bayern rejects. I hate seeing Ajax rejects. He moved to Bayern. Unfortunately, they have guys like Kimmich there. They've got Mueller there. They've got Musiala there. They've got an intense midfield there. So it's very, very hard to break into that midfield, and he just hasn't had that opportunity yet. It was similar to Marcel Sabitzer, but I think Gravenberch is kind of heads and shoulders above Marcel Sabitzer, and I think he would be an excellent addition. Lots of energy in him at the to play. So I personally am going for a Gravenberch over Verratti. Sorry about these dots, guys. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe I'll move over this way a bit. But yeah, I'm personally going to go for a Gravenberch over Verratti because of age and the price, because this will be more of a loan. Marcos Verratti is going to cost around $50 million. He's 29 years old. Gravenberch, I believe, is in his early 20s. It's a loan option, maybe a loan to buy, so we can definitely test him, see how he does in the Premier League. And he's familiar with our play style. So I think those are all three or four things that put him ahead of Verratti, in my opinion. But let me know, do you prefer Marcos Verratti or do you prefer Ryan Gravenberch? Because for me, I'm all about Ryan Gravenberch. I've seen him play for a few years now, and he's been one of the best midfield, not one of the best, but he's been one of my favorite as well midfielders over the last few years. Great progressor of the ball. And now, interesting where this might leave our next potential target. So, with our eyes on guys like Marcos Verratti and Gravenberch, and even given the go-ahead to sign Gravenberch, where does that leave Sofian Amrabat? Because reports out of the MEN today saying that we could have signed Amrabat already, and I've actually been thinking this for quite a while now, probably for the last week or so. We've made around a few million with other players here and there, like Telles, Zidane, Iqbal. We've generated around between 30 and 35 million, which is what Fiorentina would be looking for Amrabat. So why haven't we signed him yet? Maybe we're turning our heads towards a Gravenberch or a Verratti rather than an Amrabat. And I think that could be kind of a bad idea. I think watching that Spurs game the other day shows how much we need a guy like Amrabat, a guy that is extremely energetic, combative, and can spray balls. He is very good at progressive passes. I believe he was the #1 progressive passer in Italy last year, in the entire Serie A. I believe in midfield, maybe not everyone, but his progressive passing last season was amazing. And what we saw during the World Cup just adds on to that. So I'm not sure where that leaves Amrabat. To be honest, I can see us going for Amrabat, which I do think it will still go for. I think we'll go for Amrabat this week, and also maybe getting a Gravenberch on loan. I don't see why we sign a proper midfielder like an Amrabat to play with Casemiro and to cover for Casemiro, and use a loan option on Gravenberch. That way we have all the cover we need in midfield. We can play 2 CDMs. We can have a number 8 that plays maybe with Mason Mount if he wants to put Bruno on the right, which I honestly hate, by the way. We just need all those options, and I can see that being a possibility. Thanks everyone for watching. Everyone, comment below, guys. Let me know. We have three midfielding options here. We've got Ryan Gravenberch, Marcos Verratti, and Sofian Amrabat. Comment below, out of those 3, which one do you want? Hell, I'll take all 3. But if I'm picking out of all 3 of those, I kind of want Amrabat just because he's so versatile and what he does can cover multiple positions in the midfield. But I don't see why we cannot get a Gravenberch and